What's up, guys?
All right, I'm going to hit the live on the YouTube.
All right.
Whole crew's here.
The whole crew is here.
There we go. We are live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube.
Just a reminder, if you do have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start it off with Jen as usual. Hey, Jen.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. How are you?
It's going. A lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes. As I'm actually not sure the community knows this, but I've been primarily focused on the VC raise and getting everything set there. So there's been a lot of movement on that front. We're getting very, very excited. We're almost ready to pitch at this point. We're just finalizing some internal things that we need to get sorted, like corporate structure. But Suresh and I have been running through the pitch every day with the help of our advisors and doing pitch sessions and getting feedback. So we're going to start pitching, I actually think, next week, which is very, very exciting for us. Soft pitching, but you know, it's happening. So I'm really excited. The team, the EverRise team, is going to see the pitch for the first time on Thursday. So that will be great to get your guys' thoughts and feedback on that. So we're moving. I know market conditions are really, really rough, but it, in a way, like, I know this sounds, I hope this doesn't sound insensitive, but I feel like we're relatively unfazed by that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you look at how the Rise token is performing in comparison to the native coins it's paired against, and it's incredible. Honestly, it's incredible. It speaks to the the quality of the dApps that we've put out, but also to the community and having faith in us, having faith in our long-term vision, and what we want to do as a protocol. You know, Jen said it best. We want to be the Google of Web3, and it's as simple as that. On that note, we will open the floor to questions. We have Springbok up here. Hey, Springbok. Jason, I'm also hearing some noise from your mic. It sounds like you're on a motorcycle. Yeah. Hey, Springbok. Oh, fell down to a listener spot. If anyone does have a question, I will add in also, we will be dropping a surprise in Spaces today. I'm not going to tell you what time, but you definitely want to be here for the entire time, because at some point, randomly, we will drop a surprise, as we love to do here at EverRise. That was a rhyme. That rhymed. Just, I think, turn the gain down a little bit. Do we have any questions on YouTube or Discord, gentlemen?
Nothing on Discord yet, but Discord fam, what's up?
Discord fam. We were talking before we got onto the AMA today. You know, we're here every single day, Monday to Friday, and a lot of questions get asked on the daily basis. So the questions in the AMA have toned down a little bit, which is okay. You know, I think it's a good sign that we're super transparent. But if anyone has any questions at all, now is your chance.
Is this better, TJ?
Yes, way better.
There we go. It wouldn't be a live stream if my computer didn't do something to test me. So.
Yeah, we're here. We're out here for those questions. Shout out to the user Sibion in Telegram, who once said, "These AMAs are too positive. People are too complimentary of the project." So user Sibion from Telegram wants your hard questions front and center. Bring all of your fear, uncertainty, anger, fear, and aggression to bear upon us. We are ready.
Let's bring it.
Bring it on. We're ready for it. Bringing up Michael. Hey, Michael. Hey, Michael, you there, my friend?
Yeah. Hey, it's me. It's you. I was on the wrong Twitter.
Oh, do you? I was like, I recognize that voice.
Have you changed your name?
Right. How's everybody doing?
Throwing us out. You're good,
hey,
good.
Friend, how are you?
Pretty good. I had a question. If you guys are at the liberty to say, how many VC investors do we have interested? Without not giving any names, of course.
Mhm. So I'm not going to say how many we have interested as we're just starting the round, but I can tell you that we have over 70 VCs on our hit list. We're in contact with about 15 of them who are friendly, and we're getting put into contact through our advisors and through some of the other folks that we know in the space to the other ones.
That is awesome. Are all y'all doing pretty good today?
Yeah, it's funny. One of our advisors that's really helping us out with this round, Suresh and I were on with him yesterday doing another run through of the pitch, and he was like, "Are you guys sick of this yet?" And Suresh and I both were like, "No, not yet." And he's all like, "Okay, so you're not done yet. We're gonna keep doing this until you're sick of it." So I'm doing really good. It's a fun time.
Okay, I just wanted to say hi to you guys and ask that question. I'll step down and just be a good listener.
Thanks, you appreciate it, my friend. Looking forward to having you around full time soon.
We now know Yu's name.
Ooh, robotic Mike J.
Really? Oh my.
Yeah. Caught that early this time. Thanks, you appreciate it, my friend. Monty, bringing you up. Hey, Monty.
Hey, what's going on, team? How's everybody?
Doing excellent. How are you?
Doing well. Fantastic. OG NFTs. I thought, didn't you say last week or when the other ones that they were going to come out the same week?
We did. So I do want to provide just like a little bit of context into this. And it is a running joke within, the EverRise staff, and I'm sure the community may have noticed this pattern as well. But every single time we release something or drop something, the market just tanks. And it's been really, really perplexing to us, so much to the point where we're actually making jokes about it. So what the development team and the marketing team has collectively decided to do is we prepped all of the materials, we have everything ready, and we're going to kind of just keep an eye on the market to time our releases, and we're going to try this new approach. So they might be ready. I'm trying to create some mystery around this. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job, but there's that, Monty. I don't know if that directly answered your question, but I hope I can give you some context into why we haven't released certain things yet.
I'm assuming that would also apply to the mystery DApp.
It absolutely does apply to the mystery DApp.
Of course it does.
But I can tell you, I have seen the mock-ups of the mystery DApp, and I know what the team is doing currently on the mystery DApp, and it's very, very exciting.
And as far as the UI, UX for the existing dApps rolling into I'm assuming that's all kind of bottled together.
That is all bottled together. Yeah. So what we're going to do is once we essentially finish out the NFTs and get those out, once we, get to where we want to get to on the mystery DApp, we're going to start porting over all of the DApps one by one to the new UX UI. There's a lot of work that needs to be done for certain DApps in order to actually function in the new design environment. So the team has already started to kind of outline the development plan for that. And that's kind of all the information I have, if I'm being very honest with you.
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Monty.
Jen.
Any questions on YouTube or Discord?
Yes.
The only question so far on Discord is, what's the surprise?
That's a great question. I will answer that later in the AMA.
Nice.
We've got a question on YouTube. Can you hear me talk?
Yes. Mm-hmm. A little robotic, but I can make it out.
Where do you see yourself next 5 years in respect of market cap? We can't answer that, but where do we see ourselves in 5 years? That's a good question. From Vinay.
So I think Yeah, I think market cap's always interesting, right? Because there's some projects that have multi-$100,000 market caps, but what's really interesting is market caps can be really easily manipulated. I think for Rise, when we start to project out into the future and to think about, you know, where will we be in the next 5 years, what I know is we have developed and shipped more utility in the past almost year than most DeFi protocols have, period. So there's that aspect of it. I think we've built a very strong base and community that's here. And I think like it's fair to say that personally, I believe EverRise is incredibly undervalued. I can tell you for a fact that we're going into a venture capital round. And I think what a VC round does is it also adds a lot of like external legitimacy to what we're doing as a company and as a protocol, because you now have and like I know people have their thoughts about VCs and institutions coming into this space, but like at the end of the day, this is like an emerging tech space, and so having VC validation oftentimes helps. So if we're raising that this year, I can only imagine in the years to come, as we continue to build out utilities, as we continue to expand horizontally to different blockchains, as well as vertically by shipping new products across all of those blockchains. You know, I have like what I imagine EverRise at, but like it's also like just take all that information and take the research you've done on the project, and then you can like also wildly speculate on where the market cap will be, because I can tell you that there's not a single person up here on this space that's a speaker that's going to be able to answer that clearly. And quite frankly, it's not something that we as staff of EverRise like to do in terms of like putting our own thoughts and opinions out there, because that may be misconstrued as the community saying like, oh, well, Jason one time on this AMA on May 17th, 2022 said that EverRise would be here in 5 years, and now EverRise is here, and like Jason was wrong. And then people get angry at Jason. So it's not something that we want to speculate on, but we can tell you, or I can tell you, I think EverRise is incredibly undervalued. I think we have a lot of amazing utility, and we're starting to get that market validation and recognition outside of our own community. And I think like the fact that we're almost at 60% staked also speaks to that confidence.
Totally. And if I can add to that also, the question in general of what will the market cap be of this project in 5 years, there is not a soul on earth that knows. Satoshi Nakamoto would not know what the market cap of Bitcoin would be in 5 years from now. Nobody knows, right? It's up to market conditions. It's up to building. You know, are you building utility that people are using? Is there adoption? You know, for Rise, for example, mass adoption of our dApps means significantly less Rise tokens in circulation, because they'll be locked up with projects. So there is nothing that we can do to predict price. We will never predict price, but we will continue to build. We will always be building, and we will always be pushing for adoption. And I do want to say, Jen, you have been killing it behind the scenes. You know, a lot of people don't see Jen much anymore. You know, you maybe see Jen on the weekly AMA, but she is working 18 to 20 hours a day, nonstop on this pitch deck, nonstop on this pitch. I can't wait to see, you know, your and Suresh's pitch that you're going to present to the staff on Thursday. Super excited, and I just wanted to give you that shout out because so well deserved.
Thank you, TJ. That means a lot.
Of course. Mansion, what's going on?
I'm just going to reset my spaces. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hey.
Yeah.
Hopefully my microphone won't be bad when I come back.
Hey.
Okay.
Let's just restart BlueStacks for a moment. One day Twitter will make an app that I can use on the PC, so I don't have to use BlueStacks. One day. It's not just me that has this problem with BlueStacks, but it's the only way we can get you guys to hear the spaces and the YouTube simultaneously. So here we go. Let's jump back into the space and listen to what the question is. If you've got any more questions, guys, let me know in the chat and I'll read them out.
You know, having said that, you look at Luna being a top 10 or whatever 5-10 years from now, right? And we all believe that EverRise is going to be up on that list. And that goes almost without saying. I strongly believe that Bitcoin is still going to be at the top of that list. And I think, especially now with 44 countries meeting with in El Salvador to discuss potentially going forward with Bitcoin, that it would position us and secure our future if we started having a conversation about doing some kind of dApps for Bitcoin to make it easier to use Bitcoin, or just associate ourselves with the top players. Because right now, we've got a lot of customers. It's exciting. Any one of them can turn into the next big thing. But if regulation comes out and says, hey, you know what? Half of those customers that we have are securities and they have to shut down or frantically come up with some sort of utility, right? And then another percentage of them fall to the wayside because of fear or FUD, or maybe just what their project wasn't really relevant enough. It puts us in a position where maybe we don't have as many customers, right? So just forward thinking as to what might happen. And I'm just thinking, if we position ourselves with creating some sort of dApps and servicing the Bitcoin market, which is going to grow exponentially, and perhaps even Ethereum, but that, still, we don't know where that's headed either at this point. There's, things like Solana going after Ethereum market share and whatever. But I don't think we could do damage to ourselves if we did anything in terms of developing dApps for Bitcoin or doing anything in related to Bitcoin. I think the company we would keep at that point makes us look better. And yeah, we're still servicing these up and coming projects. That's why we're here. That's why we got where we are so far. And we want to encourage and make it safe for all new up and coming projects and people with great ideas to bring it to the forefront and give everybody a shot to make it in this world. But I think for this, in addition to that, we have to do something EverRise in the way of servicing Bitcoin and aligning ourselves with the top. And I don't think we can lose that way.
Sure. Thanks for the comments. As I'm sure you know, Bitcoin is not a project. It's a decentralized sort of means of peer-to-peer transmission. So although EverRise can't specifically work with Bitcoin, many of the solutions that EverRise will provide will enable kind of a transition to the kind of fundamental mission of Bitcoin, in my view, or one of them, which is self-custody. So EverWallet in particular, when it's released, will give users that extra layer of comfort in taking their Bitcoin off of centralized exchanges and putting it behind an additional layer of security, so that we can give people that comfort that self-custody is not something terrifying where you're walking around about to lose all of your money.
No, I thought about that. Yeah, that would be great. And what I didn't mention is the Lightning Network, and that's what I should have mentioned in there. So just add that in. If there's something we can address in the Lightning Network, that would actually, because I listen to the Bitcoin spaces and things, and you hear these up and coming projects that are addressing ways for businesses to accept Bitcoin and people to transact with it. And I think that's something that we really want to look into, is that Lightning Network where EverRise can plant a flag and say, hey, here we are in the Lightning Network doing this. And sure, Ever Wallet would be great because it would make it safer and friendlier for people to transact and self-custody.
Yeah, that's the idea. I don't know actually all that much about the Lightning Network. I'm not sure if anyone else would like to speak to that. But the one final response I'd give to your previous points is that we're still even working out what the total addressable market for the dApps is. I think a lot about Everown in particular. Like right now, it's pretty clear that the addressable market is early stage DeFi projects that want to build credibility, and that's great. Like Everown is a solve there, in our view. But there are also so many different real world use cases that incorporate not only Bitcoin, but any digital securitized transaction, any means of escrow, any means of putting funds or smart contract functionality into a locker, only to be unlocked upon an agreed upon set of circumstances, whether by vote or by some other function that can be built out later on. So whatever security and digitized assets mean, and whatever reducing the kind of Byzantine general problem and achieving trustless systems means, I think Everown has a significant role to play there as larger and larger sums are being transacted, and people need to find a way to get those sums held in escrow or just put in a digital locker until a certain set of conditions are met. So your point previously was like, what is the kind of market for these dApps? And it's nice that we have, sort of earlier projects and they may take off, but when is the market something bigger? When is it, everywhere? That is certainly the EverRise mission, and I think the flexibility behind the dApps has still been uncovered, and there's still a long way to go in terms of finding out what the market is for it. To me, that's extremely exciting, and that's a question mainly for Suresh, and of course, obviously for Jen and the business folks. So, Jen or anybody else, if you have thoughts, please let us know.
Yeah, I think the fastest horse to adoption is Bitcoin. I mean, when you have 44 countries meeting as we speak in El Salvador, and when they shuffle the deck, we don't know which projects are going to land where, but we know Bitcoin is going to be there. I mean, if it's not there, we're all in trouble. That's my feel. But the Lightning Network is a layer 2 solution that other projects are building upon to make it easier and quicker to transact with Bitcoin. So yeah, if the dev team, they got to know about it. But just I was chatting with Enrique on the DM on this, and I know he's going to forward it up. But I just wanted to at least get it out there
Yeah, I mean, I think Jen's going to come in now, but yeah, go ahead, Jen. I'll say my thing after you.
No, Jason, you go first, please.
I mean, first and foremost, we're a DeFi project. That's, our goal straight from the beginning was to, to improve and provide, security solutions for DeFi projects, and to essentially be multi-chain and to basically bridge across different EVM compatible chains. We're just over halfway of our roadmap in terms of dApps released. We've still got a lot of things currently being built out right now, and all of these things are tools and services for projects that are building in DeFi. So, I mean, I would like to say that, as a commitment to our community, we will stay the course and we will keep continuing to build out our roadmap this year. But what I can't say is what will happen after that, and what direction we may take. Certainly, Peter mentioned about the wallet, but certainly for the remainder of this year, we're going to be very, very busy with the planned rollout of our dApps that we've stated. And obviously allowing projects to not only launch but go across chains and offer their communities greater incentives of trust, transparency, with dApps like Everown, like was mentioned, and obviously Everswap, which is another great benefit to projects. We really stand to provide benefit to other projects. That's one of the greatest use cases of EverRise, is that we succeed when other projects, especially the ones that are using our ecosystem, succeed. And that's really our vision. So when it comes to Bitcoin, could we potentially do something that would be built alongside Bitcoin? I mean, I can't say no, but certainly it isn't anything that we're planning in the immediate or short term at all. We've got a lot of work to do. The devs and the UI team, the website team are really hard at work, kind of making sure that the announced roadmap is realized. But that's really all I have to say. But it's a good point you make. I don't think for one moment that I don't agree with you. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. It's the biggest and the most known cryptocurrency for a reason. Is there a possibility in the future? Who knows? We've certainly got the talent on our team that could look at doing things like that, but we're pretty busy right now with what we've set out to do, and let's just see where things go.
Great answers, guys. Mansion, I hope that answers all of your questions, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate the time to get up here and just voice my opinion on things, and that's it. I give you the mic back.
Always.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
AG, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, TJ, Jason. Yourselves?
Doing very well, thank you.
Doing very well. Yeah, just to basically talk about, I think Vinay from YouTube was asking it. The answer to the question regarding the price, you guys have got to check the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. That mirrors BTC. When NASDAQ crashes 4%, BTC does double that, or even
AG, I think I lost you.
Oh, don't tell him he's having connection issues.
He's stuck in the.
Are you here? Can you hear?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Are you here?
There we go.
Yeah, sorry. So basically, I was just saying, because we are in an unregulated DeFi, which means that the gains are going to be euphoric and the losses are going to be 10 times worse. Once it's regulated, you're going to have a steady flow like you see with the stocks. And BTC follows the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 because it's a branch of computer science, and NASDAQ and S&P 500, if you don't know, they are tech stocks. When tech stocks are up, the Bitcoin goes up. Simple as that. That's how it works. When that goes down, everything goes down. So BNB, Ethereum, you name it, all baby, sister, daddy, mommy, cousin coins, they all go down. So to answer Vinay's question, the simple is you have to look at the stock market. When the stock market is up, like for example in November 2021, it went tiny winsy up, everything went up. That's in Bitcoin and the rest of the coins. Everyone is thinking, oh yeah, it's going to hit $1 and etc. And to also address the other part of the question, you have to look at something called Btc Rainbow Chart. So what happens is the rainbow chart, there is that once it hits the blue color of the rainbow, that's when you accumulate. That's where it's now. It's about to hit that. And because the whole market's going through a correction in terms of, the inflation, quantitative easing, because the Biden administration is printing tons and tons of money, they're actually realizing the economic implications. And lots of economists have projected their concerns over it because, as you may know, the war has actually added the fuel to the fire in terms of inflation, making living a massive challenge. And this affects the markets in general because if you look, the businesses are fossil fuel related. And if fossil fuel price goes up, their margins go down, which means the stock prices will go down. Hence, for 2 years straight in a row, stock markets have not moved that much. Whereas BTC has moved up and down, but it fluctuated. It's not going straight up like we saw in November 2021. So before this whole, inflation, the war, oil price, one of these three things get tackled, probably there's going to be a massive price movement. But till then, we don't know where it's going to go. It could be the new 2008 recession where already the guy who predicted it, Michael Burry, he started short selling Tesla stocks because, frankly speaking, it's overvalued. So we don't know. Long story short, that's what just I had to say. Nothing else.
That's
we
fair
definitely
enough.
don't know. I also do want to preface that nothing said in this space is financial advice. But there are times of decorrelation. There are times of correlation. So no one knows. You can't necessarily pin the price of cryptocurrency on stocks, although there has been a similarity. Just want to, again, let everyone know nothing here is financial advice. AG, thank you very much for your comment, my friend. Appreciate it. We will
I know
move on.
that you know,
Sorry,
the
Jay, go
market.
ahead.
No, it's right. It's just saying the fear and greed index is something that a lot of people look at, and I read something, I think it was yesterday, saying that didn't it get down to like 8 or 9 or something a few days ago, and like it's only the second
It's 9
time.
today.
I think it's only the
It's 9
second.
today.
Okay, I think it was only the second time in 2 years it's done that. So, that's again, it doesn't normally go down that low. It's not very common. So, you know, we are in a bit of a downturn. If you hadn't noticed, I think everybody knows that. But this is a period that I think we can all agree on. This is where we get our head down and we build. And when the markets do turn around and the interest comes back, we're ready. And we're ready for new projects to launch. We're ready to help projects move across the different chains. We're ready to introduce them to EverSwap. We're ready. And we've got more DApps. And, you know, I've never been more confident in what we're building right now. Like literally, like Jen said earlier on, I've seen some of the screenshots and the models that the team are working on, the DApps that are being worked on. It's going to blow people's minds. Like the amount of innovation and work that's being put in right now from such a small team, guys, it's incredible. And you know, if you're sticking around to see it, then you will enjoy what's being built. That's all I can really say. And you know, thank you for your comments, AG. I appreciate it.
Well said,
Yeah,
Jay.
no worries.
Thanks again, AG. I am going to drop you down and bring up Typhoon. Hey, Typhoon.
Hey, sorry for my ignorance, but what was the presentation you were talking about that Jen was working on? Is there anything you can fill me in on that?
Yes, Jen, I'll let you do that.
Yeah, so obviously, we're raising a VC round. So the presentation is the pitch for the VCs. It's about like a 15-20 minute presentation on the EverRise project as a whole. It's something that is pretty standard once you are meeting with the VC for them. You know, they tell you a bit about their fund, details about their fund, and usually they ask you about your project and your company. And it's very typical to walk through the pitch. And then these materials are also sent over to their team for like further due diligence and review.
So it's just in general, it's not like you don't have like somebody you're about ready to pitch to though?
Well, again, we have a list of over 70 VCs and we're in contact with about 15 of them currently. And we're planning on trying to hit hopefully all 70 so we can put together a competitive market for the raise and ideally bring on the best partners that will help the protocol. You know, there's some people that just want to write checks, and then there's some people that want to write checks, but they can also introduce you to key folks within the space. They can introduce you to other investors or other projects, or folks that they think are relevant. And so we're really trying within this seed round to assemble a team that not only is just giving us money, but can help EverRise grow into the multi-billion-dollar business that we believe it can be.
Very cool. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for your question.
I'm going to be bringing up Glowman. Hey, Glowman.
Hey, TJ.
How you doing, my friend?
Just that transition. I'm good. Thanks. Thanks for doing these. Thanks for keep coming on. I know it's been definitely a little bit quieter lately as we're kind of in the down cycle, but appreciate all the AMAs and spaces here. First, congrats on that recognition on EverChart and EverStats. I actually wanted to come back a little bit to that question and topic on the 5-year thing. And I'm curious, you know, there's an enormous amount of data. I check that data stats page every day. There's a bunch of stuff on it. What are the first things you guys look at? One or two, like there's the staking pool, the EverSwap DApp volumes on there now, buy sell ratios. Like what do you look at and what gets you excited as numbers improve on that page in terms of the health of the project?
I'll weigh in with mine. The thing that sort of gets me excited is EverRise's functionality as a cross-chain security protocol. So as more blockchains get added, and also as participants in the project continue to accumulate EverRise, EverRise itself, the project, gets a greater and greater stake of each individual blockchain on which it sits. So one of the fundamental goals of EverRise is being able to provide meaningful and stable liquidity pools backed by significant portions of each asset. And so as these market dips are happening, you are sort of seeing, to the extent more Rise is being purchased than sold, the project itself is accumulating more native coins. And as a protocol comes to be a larger holder, just a larger player in the DeFi space. And this is happening as individuals are shedding their native coins, selling, people FOMO'd in during the Super Bowl, and so things are happening at a bargain. So that's the interesting thing about participating in a DeFi protocol, is that you and your fellow community members as a project sort of become a bigger player in the crypto space. So to the extent EverRise itself is retaining as a protocol a more significant share of the broader crypto market, that does excite me. I do see a 5-year to 10-year plan where more and more blockchains get added, and EverRise becomes sort of a signpost for any promising project or blockchain itself, where they're like, oh, we need to get in on that project. And then at that point, I imagine a future where EverRise as a whole protocol decides which blockchains to accept, which ones are the most promising, which ones are a good fit, which ones are credible enough. So it's a bit of a vague answer, but that's what gets me going the most about the 5-year, 10-year plan when it comes to market moves.
That was a great answer.
Thank you. That was a great answer. I've got a much quicker answer. I don't really. I've mentioned it a few times. The one thing that I look at and that makes me confident and smile is the performance of Rise versus the native coins. We've seen Phantom drop 90% in value since I think January, which is just crazy to think. And the community have just been taking advantage of that. We've seen Matic as well drop in value quite considerably. And again, the community of across the board have been taking advantage of the native coin price drops. What that means is if you believe in Phantom, if you believe in Avalanche, Matic, BNB, and Ethereum long term, then, and if we see prices for those native coins return to previous levels, then that will certainly directly correlate with us. And at the same time, look at the staking stats. I mean, people are just like calm, they're collected, they're not panicking, in this market where others are completely losing their minds on social media. The EverRise community has just never ceased to amaze me how mature they are when it comes to understanding the macroeconomic conditions, and the day-to-day activity on the charts. I mean, you just look in the chats in Discord, you can look in the chats in Telegram, in the TA channel. You can tell that, they look at this as a long-term aspect, and certainly going back to your question, that's what I look at when it comes to the information that's on the data sheets. Very simple. I don't go into too much detail like other people, but everything, it's all positive from what I see.
Good answers. Jen?
Yeah, so on the data sheet specifically, I guess for me, I personally actually like looking at the rewards that are distributed in relationship to the buyback wallet. Like, I think in terms of like data for users and folks every day, like I think seeing that number is always awesome because it just shows like you see how our staking protocol works, you see how the buyback works and how it feeds into our ecosystem. But if you're asking, if the question is kind of like, what's the most interesting stat that gets you excited about EverRise? We actually don't have this one on EverRise stats. I really like looking at DApp radar. I like seeing how many transactions are happening through our ecosystem, how much volume has moved through our ecosystem and the total amount of users that are interacting with that ecosystem. That to me just gets me very, very excited because, you know, everything we've built from the ground up. We've bootstrapped as a DeFi project, and to see adoption across the products that we actually have live, to see real world money being transacted through that, it's just powerful. And we actually pulled down some stats if you guys are curious. As of last month, we had over 104,000 unique wallet addresses cumulatively interacting with our DApps. So that includes like EverMigrate, EverSwap, EverBridge, and like that stat is what gets me very excited.
That's awesome. That's kind of what I was thinking, Jen, is like, what are the sort of the business KPIs that you might be talking to VCs about that you're tracking and saying, okay, we're making inroads as a DeFi platform?
It's definitely users within the ecosystem, right? And there's a very clear correlation that every time we ship more DApps, the users increase. And the users are really interesting because the users more or less represent the potential economic growth of our ecosystem. And more importantly, for the VCs, the company, right? If we're releasing products and month over month, that number gets bigger, then it shows that there's market demand for the products that we're creating. I actually think another stat that is very interesting to VCs, and I think it should be interesting to everyone in general, and it's one that we talk about all the time, is how much Rise is staked. The fact that we're sitting at like 59% staked for an average term of, I think it's 22 months. I think that just really goes to show market confidence in the ecosystem that we've created, especially while the market is in a downward trend and being as bearish as it is. Clearly, there is value here within this ecosystem. Otherwise, I don't think the staked number would be as high. There's clearly a fundamental belief within the market that what we are creating has utility. And I think the staking numbers show that.
Excellent. Thank you, Jen. Good luck with the presentations. We're all excited to hear how it goes.
Thank you. Give us some time, guys. It's going to be a 60 to 90 day process, maybe be more. We don't know yet. We'll know once we're actually in the rooms and doing all of that stuff. But I'm very, very excited for the future of where EverRise as a company is going. And, you know, if the company is here to stay, that means the protocol is here to stay.
Well put, Jen. Glowman, great question, my friend. Thank you. Adrian, how are you?
Doing great, man. Glad to see y'all this afternoon. My question is, okay, one of the greatest things that I think that EverRise has created, and it's kind of under the radar, is the cross-chain NFTs. Okay, being able to swap them from one chain to the next. Are there any plans to expand that out and let other protocols use that? Because I listen to a lot of spaces just like y'all do, and I hear that, you know, there's issues in certain things, and if it was possible to go cross chain like that for other protocols, I believe that would be a gold mine in itself. So that's all I got. I just listened to y'all's comment.
You know, I'm not the most technical person on the team, but I do remember we've had multiple staff meetings talking about this like months ago. Like, what would it take for us to make NFTs bridgeable for other projects that have NFT live? And if I'm recalling correctly, and don't quote me on this, I may be completely incorrectly calling this, but I think one of the tech concerns was once an NFT is already minted, the whole point is there's a one-of-one value. And so I remember we were talking about, well, we could wrap the NFT and then bridge it, but then you're reminting it. And I think we were all like, this is a massive technical feat to do for existing NFTs. we're going to focus on making sure that new NFTs that we were minting at the time would be able to have that functionality. So I think it's more, I don't know if there's a solve for NFT projects that have already minted, but there could definitely be a solve for projects who are interested in doing NFTs in the future. If they want to make it cross-chain, you kind of have to get in there right at the start to have that type of infrastructure, if I'm recalling that meeting correctly.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, I was more thinking maybe not so much as the ones that's already out there, but new protocols coming in that's wanting to, do new NFTs, and then be able to have the option, to be able to go cross chain, because I just think that would be pretty a pretty exciting thing for new projects coming out, being able to use something like that.
Get them to reach out. Get them to reach out to us, and then we can see. I mean, from what I understand, a lot can be gathered from a conversation between our technical team and their technical team. At the moment, I don't think there's any plan on implementing for other projects cross-chain NFTs, but we've got a team of people that speak to projects on a day-to-day basis. Let's get them to reach out to us, ask the question. That's all I can really say on that.
All right, appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. I'm gonna keep listening.
Brilliant. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for your question.
I'm going to be bringing back up AG. And just a reminder, if you are done speaking, I will drop you down. And if you do have a question, again, just re-request. Peter?
I'm just waving to AG. That's all.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah,
all right. Good stuff.
Just have a second question, really. Sorry to
Questions
ask.
on Discord in the meantime, Peter?
There's one about, Jason, why is your shed so dark right now?
Oh no, I turned the light on. Actually, Brian, I think Brian in the chat. Sorry, Brian, I didn't address that. It was dark because I had the door shut. I've opened the door. It's raining outside. But I've also turned the light on to my right hand side as well. So there you go. Hopefully you can see me now. I was trying to be incognito. There you go.
It was very moody lighting, Jason. I was into it.
You know what it is? He's just trying to hide the green screen behind him because he's sick of seeing community members putting him in a zoo, putting him, all over the place. I think that's what it is.
I'm gonna get an EverRise logo on the back wall at some point.
That is the logical thing to do, I would think. But
yeah, let's see what happens.
Jason. We're gonna end up in a whose background studio competition. Jason's gonna be like, I'm gonna put an EverRise logo on my back wall, and I'm like, well, I raised you a custom made neon sign logo.
Yeah.
Jason's gonna be all like, well, I'm gonna put an EverRise projection coming out of my PC, so it looks like a hologram, and I'm gonna be like, well, dang, I need to get some more stuff to put on my wall.
Gonna get the live EverRise price on the back wall projected. No, I'm not ready. But,
oh my god, we should get you a live sign though, one that turns on whenever we're live.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That looks really good in your space.
But I think Jen, I like the mood that you got going on, the vibe you've got going on there. So,
thank you.
I'll think of ways of one-upping you on that one. TJ,
friendly competition.
Yeah. TJ's got the blurry background. He's cool, man. He's got the blur effect.
One day, I'm going to move. I'm not going to tell anyone, and I'm going to set up the craziest backdrop you've ever seen. Until that day happens, I will have the blurry background. But it's coming one day, folks. AG, how are you?
Yeah, hi there. Sorry to ask too many questions. I was just wondering because Jason just talked about NFT staking and etc. So is like EverRise open to partners or like crypto startups that have NFT staking on their roadmap, but are willing to host them, like to provide the NFT staking? Is that like a possible feature or not yet?
Are you thinking like folks coming to us and leveraging the NFT staking lab?
Yes, that's right. That's right, Jen.
Yeah. Yeah. So our stance on this currently has been, we invented a very unique way of staking that works specifically with our protocol. Like the way the rewards work is distributed through the buyback. The buyback is something that's incredibly integrated into our token and our just project overall, right? It's our liquidity reserve. It's how we steadily inject liquidity into our liquidity pools across all 5 chains over time, etc. So like we feel like the NFT staking lab specifically is very unique to EverRise, and currently we don't have any plans on making it available to anyone else. Number one, it probably wouldn't work with their protocol right off the bat. There would have to be tooling that we would need to do on our end to make it available to B2B. But like that's where we stand currently, right? We don't want to just give away these like on-chain NFT stakes that we've done. However, we are open if we do see a high market demand for people who want to do staking with the NFTs. Like we are open to potentially maybe making a separate application for that would enable other projects to have like an NFT staking system, but it's not something that we're focused on, if that makes sense.
Yep, that's perfect. Yeah, because I'm part of another project, and they said that they've been constantly delaying the NFT staking. So I was wondering if it's any rocket science or not. So I've been asking around here and there as to figure out what is so special about NFT staking. I mean, surely many projects like Rise has got their NFT staking up and running. So why is it taking them, I don't know, 8 months to create one? So I was just wondering.
No one's done what we've done. Like
no. I'm thinking because the Rise one is unique compared to the other ones. So but it's just me inquiring about what's going on as like for other project. I don't want to name it here because that's unprofessional. So I just thought to inquire about it and perhaps if I can bring that business to EverRise. But of course, it kind of technically makes sense because the way EverRise contract for the NFT staking is coded would be quite different to what the business wants. So that's completely fine.
Yeah. I'm sorry they've been delayed on delivering that to you.
Oh no,
it's
not on you. It's an interesting story. We can have a conversation about it at some point. It's not on you guys, don't worry.
Maybe one day we'll have a solution. TBD though.
Definitely. We'll see.
If everyone wants to check the nest, the surprise is the EverRise migration NFTs are now available to claim via the NFT staking lab.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get on that tweet, everybody.
Hold on, let me look
at tweet. Show it some love. Retweet it. Hashtag EverRise. $Rise. We know the deal. I'm going to be bringing up Maverick.
Let's get on that tweet, guys.
Jason, those are beautiful.
It looks so good, Jason.
Damn.
TJ, Jason, Jen, Peter.
Woo! Maverick, what's up, man? How you doing?
I am good. How are you, Justin? Tyler?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, buddy. I'm doing great. Always good to hear your voice, man.
What a great news. The migration NFTs are available. As soon as the question was asked, there's the answer, boys and girls.
You know what it is? The migration NFTs are available, Maverick, and that is a fact.
That is a fact with a capital F. How are you guys? Happy Tuesday. What's going on?
Looking forward to... Sorry,
Yeah,
no,
just the usual, my friend. AMA time, about to wrap it up, get back to work. But saw your request in just in time and had to bring you up for that last-minute caffeine boost.
I appreciate that. And congratulations to Jason! For winning that award. Do you actually get a physical award?
It wasn't just me. It was Ben as well.
Oh,
Ben,
of course. Jason and Ben!
So Ben is like he's just, he is the data man. He does so much more than data. I shouldn't have said that. He's got such an amazing web page with all the data that we talked about earlier on in this AMA. And, I wanted to try to utilize it, and with EverChart, it's such an easy process of grabbing that information and putting it visually on a YouTube channel so people can see the whole 5 chains. I'm over the moon that we won, and the credit has to go to Ben, like, really for that. He's developed the infrastructure there. It's all and I'm just basically funneling that information onto the live stream. So big shout out to Ben. Let's go.
Big shout out to the whole team. What the whole team does. Everybody deserves an award. You know what? There will be a day when EverRise is going to win the best crypto award, and we, the Risers, are going to win the best community of the year award. That will happen one day.
Yes. I couldn't agree with you more. Best community because we educate, we're intelligent, we care. I could list 1,000 things, but we'll be here till 4 a.m. But you know how I feel about this community. It's the best community in DeFi, hands down.
And Jen, how was the Chainlink event you went to last week? How did that go?
It went really, really well.
I saw some pictures.
Yeah, there were about 80 people at that event, so it was a little bit smaller than the one Waso was at, but I had a lot of great conversations, met a lot of amazing people. Really excited to grow like my Web3 tribe in LA. I feel like over the past couple of years, and especially since I came on to EverRise, like it's just been at home working. Instead of like also going out and doing these events, but I'm starting to just attend more like Web3 events, crypto events that are specifically based in LA. So that way, you never know who you meet at the events, and sometimes you meet some really incredible people in the space.
I couldn't agree more, and good luck to you for Thursday. It's the first pitch, and we all know it's going to go well, and looking forward to the future.
Thank you. It's the first pitch to the team. I do want to just clarify that.
Oh, to the team. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oops.
To the team. It's all good. We are starting to line up the meetings though, so we're getting very, very excited.
I'll let you know how it goes, everybody.
Please do, Jason. All right, boys and girls, that's all the time I had for today, unfortunately. But before I go, I want you guys to hear something.
We're listening.
Best friends in a cat that sits on my lap, takes all my pain away. Got no more rainy days. My best friends in a cat.
All right, Maverick, what is that? First of all,
the absolute legend, the #1 artist in Canada, Justin Tyler.
I love you, man. Oh, I love you. You're the best. Honestly. Grateful.
I love you too, man. It was so awesome to see you. Man, good job, TJ. We need more of these.
Check him out on Spotify. Check him out on Spotify.
You know why I did that? Because yesterday during Spaces, if anyone missed it, we had the original artist of that song pop in and hang out with us for, over an hour, which was awesome. He's currently going viral with his Crypto Boy remix. And, it was great for him to join us. And I just wanted to show a little bit of love. So I did a little, 15-second cover there. And Maverick has already brought it to light. So there you go.
Love it.
Thanks, Mav.
You guys are awesome.
You are awesome.
Go ahead. No, you are awesome. Dude, you guys are awesome. The future's looking bright. Always, every day is an EverRise day. Keep up the good work. And hey, before I go, I want to give a shout out to AG. I really like the point he brought up. That was a good point.
Shout out to AG. There you go.
All right, boys and girls, we put the D in DeFi. Let's go! Have a great day.
Thanks, Mav.
Take care, guys.
What a perfect way to wrap up the weekly AMA as well. We are just past the top of the hour, so I will hand it off to Jason, then myself, and then Jen will end it off with closing statements. Jay?
Sit back and enjoy the ride.
There you go. I will say, don't worry about the charts. If you believe in something, you believe in something, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. I don't want to give too much. I don't want to give financial advice or make it look like I am, but if you're confident, and don't let these markets phase you.
And I'll be cliche and close it out with a quote. I actually tweeted this quote yesterday, but this is from Malcolm X. He said, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." So get excited, guys. I think it's going to be a fun ride. And just make sure everyone takes time off from the charts. I keep emphasizing that. I'm only emphasizing it because I got like 30 phone calls last week asking me if I was okay. So I was just like, if I'm getting these calls, I hope you guys are also getting those calls, but make sure you take some time off from just watching Bitcoin and all the rest of the charts.
Make sure to
going
join
anywhere.
Sorry, Jen. Make sure to join our Reddit, our Discord. You're probably following us on Twitter, but make sure you've got the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, as we've got a lot of awesome content going out on YouTube. And take care.
Bye, guys.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.